What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to talk about the Houston Rockets, right? And I think the Houston Rockets going to be a problem in the West, man. I've been watching some of these preseason games, man, with Kevin Durant, and I think they're going to be a problem. I think if Houston can get out of the West, if they can get past the champs OKC, um, because I think, in my opinion, I think OKC are the favorites to win the West. I think they're the favorites, and if Houston can get past them, get past Denver, who else gonna be tough in the West? The West is a beast, but I think Houston got enough talent on their team, whereas though they can get through there. They got the young talent, and now with the addition of Kevin Durant, his maturity, his experience, uh, and his calmness, and he clutch. He clutched. Like Kevin Durant is going to be able to get them a basket and score when they need a basket. And he plays really good defense, right? On a team with a coach that stresses defense. What's Ime Doka? He stresses defense, right? So I think this right here is the perfect match for Kevin Durant. And just imagine if Kevin Durant get a ring without, um, you know, a ring other than playing with Steph Curry. I think that'd be a great cap to his career. I think Kevin Durant really he deserves it. I think he is Kevin Durant is really I think he deserves a ring. I think he can lead this team definitely to a championship. It's going to be tough for them to come out of that West. Like I said, the West is thick. But the thing about it, they have balance too. They got the kid Shangoon. I like Shangoon, for what he did last year in the playoffs. And the thing about Shangoon is he can be effective on a team in that low post without the team really having to feature him. Right. They're gonna toss the ball down there to him in the low post and let him do his thing up, a little bit, but you don't have to like constantly feed him, keep him in a rhythm for him to be effective because he can do other things. Like he gonna crash the board. Um, he just gonna get the ball in the flow of the game and do what he do. So I like Shangoon. Then you got the kid Amin his Thomas, right? I hope it's the right one, the twin. Um, Amin Thomas. I like him because he's versatile inside and out. And he's athletic, so I like him. The only real weakness I see with this team is the fact that they have like Van Vliet. I don't know how much time Van Vliet is going to miss. But when you got somebody like Kevin Durant on a team and Amin Thomas and Shangoon, you don't need you need a point guard who basically can keep the train on the tracks, like somebody, but I mean, who can get like the open man the ball, not a point guard who want to be a scorer anyway, like a pure point guard. And so you don't need a lot from that point guard position because like I said, of the leadership and the experience of Kevin Durant. I think this right here is this is a perfect fit for Kevin Durant from a coaching standpoint. And I think it's really his time. I think Kevin Durant, you know, I think he's motivated. I think he wants to win a ring. I think Kevin Durant, he sees the opportunity here with these young guys. Um, so even just watching them in the preseason, I think they probably sense that, they probably had some excitement too about where they are and the potential that they have for this season. And then coming off of the success that they had last year. So just imagine, being on a Houston Rocket team. Y'all made it to the playoffs last year. Y'all had some success, had a lot of success last year. And they felt like last year they probably could have got it done if they had more help from their player. What's his name? Green. Is his name Jalen Green? Jalen Green. So if they, I thought now when they got rid of Jalen Green, I was like, don't get rid of him. He a young player. He had a bad playoff series last year, but when they replaced him with Kevin Durant, so I was like, all right, you if Kevin Durant wasn't available and Houston had decided to keep Jalen Green and just try to bring him along and that would have been, that would have been understandable. But it's also understandable too that Kevin Durant, like you didn't have to wait on or hope or pray that Jalen Green got it together because this is a known factor. Whereas though Jalen Green, you don't know, you want him to develop and become a certain type of player, but Kevin Durant is that already. So you go out there and you get Kevin Durant like the Houston Rockets did. They know what Kevin Durant is all about. They know what he brings to the table. And unfortunately for Jalen Green, now I don't know who I'm not sure who Jalen Green is playing with, but Kevin Durant, man, and this team, like I said, with Amin Thomas. Only thing though, I don't know how deep the bench is for this for the Houston Rockets team. I think last year, looking at their team last year, I think they went about 7 deep. And if they can go 7 deep this year, I think that'll be good. Especially maybe have like one person coming off the bench that can score, and then everybody else just maintain one person coming off the bench that can score and maintain what the starters like if the starters have a lead, maintain that lead. If y'all need somebody to come off with energy and add a spark to the team, they need that. And I gotta watch some more of the Houston Rockets just to see if they have that on their bench, like somebody who can provide that spark. Um, a good 6 man. I want to see that. I didn't, in the preseason, it's kind of hard to tell because there's really like nothing at stake. You're just trying to basically develop chemistry, for the first five, and then you know what I mean. Then you gradually you want to see what your bench. You get into like seeing what your bench looks like, right? So I want to see more though. I'm sure they know, what they have on their bench. I want to see more of what their bench can do, and then once you see what their bench can do, it's gonna be it'll be more obvious what kind of season they're gonna have over there in Houston. But watch out, man. And the West is gonna be tough. You got Dallas, I think are going to be good. They got a hot, they got who they got over there? Anthony Davis in Dallas. You have Cooper Flag. I want to see what this kid gonna look like. Kyrie, hoping that he can get back to form. So Dallas is gonna be tough. Then you got Minnesota. You got Minnesota with Anthony Edwards. Him and his crew, they gonna be tough. Then, like I said, then you got OKC. They gonna be more confident and they want to defend their title, so they're gonna be tough. Golden State, I see workout. I mean, I see Butler and Green working out. Then they was able to keep the kid. What was the other guy that wanted to get traded, but he didn't get traded? I forgot his name. Uh, but they're gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough coming out of that West. But I think because of Kevin Durant and who Kevin Durant is, I think he'll be up for the task. And like I said, this will be just a cat, to Kevin Durant's career, man, a cherry on the top if he was able to get a championship, you know, um, without without Steph Curry and Draymond Green. I wonder if he even think about that or if that even bothers him, as a professional. Hopefully it hopefully it does. That'll motivate him, and we'll see this year, you know, how motivated he is. So yeah, I think, but Kevin Durant is not a rah rah type of guy either. But you'll see, through their performances, man, like what his intent is. If he come out there with ill intent, everybody in this league is in trouble. But like a motivated Kevin Durant, I don't think nobody like I don't know. No, you can't stop Kevin Durant if he motivated and you know you can't stop Kevin Durant. Then he got these defenders around him, these guys who can play defense and score too. So yeah, that the Houston Rocket team is going to be they're going to be a problem. So that's my take on the Houston Rockets, man. I'm not a Houston Rockets fan, but it's just that I watched a couple of their preseason games and I was like, oh, okay, I like what I'm seeing. They're going to be a problem. But yeah, like I said, y'all make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the Houston Comets. And with that being said, I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.